What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, and it's Top 10 Thursday. The 90s was really the renaissance for horror gaming. Almost everything we know and love today was invented then. Creepy monsters, fun-to-use guns, and crazy jump scares all came about during this era. So this week, I wanted to take a look back at my choices for the top 10 best 90s horror games. Number 10. Alone in the Dark: The New Nightmare. This game takes place in a happy little spot called Shadow Island. After your friend mysteriously vanishes, our hero decides to head up to this gloomy mansion and search for answers. The Alone in the Dark series is considered some of the first true survival horror games ever made, but with the New Nightmare, things finally started to come into their own. It does so much with so little. Just wandering around dark rooms with your flashlight keeps you afraid of everything in the world. Number 9. Doom 2. Looking back, Doom is often remembered for being an awesome shooter, when many people forget that this game was originally famous for its nightmare-inducing visuals. Diving into the depths of hell, you're gonna need 3 things: your trusty shotgun, lots of health, and good aim. At the time, this was a cutting-edge PC title. Only the best people could play it, and in fact, people would build PCs just to see how gory they could make it. You can tell that the artists wanted to really dive into how dark they can make this game. Some of these demons look a little bit pixely now, but keep in mind these characters are evil and have killed billions of humans for fun. Number 8. Phantasmagoria. This is the brainchild of Roberta Williams, a person who wanted to make an interactive horror movie where you're the main character. Essentially, it plays like a point-and-click puzzle game. You need to gather items and figure out all the clues to find the proper path. The twist to keep things interesting is that each of the people you encounter are slowly picked off one by one in increasingly gruesome ways. Funny enough, one of the deaths in this game is so graphic that people were known to faint when they see it. But you know what? Let's take a look at it just for fun. Number 7. Dino Crisis. What if I told you there existed a survival horror game based on dinosaurs? Well, welcome to Dino Crisis. The story revolves around Regina, a badass special agent who's being sent in to investigate a top-secret weapons project. As soon as you get out of your helicopter though, clearly everything has gone to shit. The writing in this game is so goofy, and that actually makes it a lot better. Seeing people calmly talk to each other while shooting at velociraptors is something you gotta see to believe. This game earns its slot on the list for one thing above all else: it has an epic fight against a T-Rex. Number 6. Night Trap. This is one of those strange games that came out during that era where people thought that filming actors was the future of gaming. To play, you would actually get your controller and each button would flip to a different camera. You need to watch these girls have a slumber party. Now wait, I know that sounds weird, but let me explain why. There's these creepy people in black suits who are trying to sneak in and secretly kill all of the kids. They're demons or vampires or something. And if you manage to catch them as they're breaking in, you can spring booby traps to capture them. Upon release, this stirred up a lot of controversy. People thought that the overall themes were a little bit too strange, and in fact, they were only allowed to print it once. Everything that was initially printed is all that'll ever exist of Night Trap. Number 5. Parasite Eve. During the 90s, Squaresoft was absolutely dominating. They were mostly focusing on their awesome Final Fantasy series, but they decided to try their hand at horror as well. As a kid, I really enjoyed this game a lot because it had a very science focus. Every monster, every little twist in the story was actually based around actual biology. Inside of our cells are little creatures called mitochondria, and this game proposed the question of what if those things woke up and decided to mutate us into horrible beasts? The farther you get into the game, the more you learn both about yourself, your cells, and the world around you, along with having the pants scared off of you. The imagery in this game is so memorable. Seeing burned out bodies in an opera house or exploring a deserted police station sticks with you long after you've stopped playing. Number 4. System Shock 2. Awakening in a small cryotube with amnesia, you have no idea what's going on. As you begin to explore your surroundings, you discover two things quickly. First of all, you're in a spaceship, and second of all the crew has had their minds taken over by a computer virus. These enemies are more than mindless zombies though. They still have some small flicker of intellect. They seem like they might be people deep down, making them all the more terrifying to fight against. System Shock 2 had a really complex story that had you facing off against a giant AI called Shodan. It did something that very few games have ever been able to encapsulate. They made you afraid to find out what exactly happened here. Number 3. Clock Tower. Here is a game that's perfectly mastered the subtle art of keeping you scared even when nothing's happening. In Clock Tower, there's really only one enemy, Scissor Man, but he's constantly pursuing you. At any moment, he could pop out and take you by surprise. You don't really have any weapons to even defend yourself. Instead, you're stuck playing a life and death game of hide and seek. You get such a unique chill knowing that there's only one character who's hunting you, but no matter how far you run, where you go, he's always on your trail, and nobody can save you from the scissors. Number 2. Silent Hill. These foggy streets hide a very unique kind of horror. Our hero is named Harry Mason, and he's just a normal guy. He can't run very fast, and he's not great with guns, but for this situation, he's gonna be put to the test. After getting in a car crash in the middle of the night, he wakes up in Silent Hill and must search for his daughter. This world almost seems broken into fragments. There's the light world where you can wander around the streets. There's the dark world where you almost can't see even 10 feet in front of you. Or there's Otherworld. This is a twisted parallel universe where the floor beneath you is just a grate above an abyss. Walls are covered in rust and possibly blood, and monsters are made out of everyone, including children. Silent Hill didn't pull any punches. They wanted you to be so afraid that you might not even be able to beat it. Number 1. Resident Evil 2. How could I not give it to this game? Almost everything about it is extremely groundbreaking. When you bought this game, it came with 2 separate discs, and depending on the disc you choose, you got to play through the game as a totally different character. You could play as Leon Kennedy, a new cop in town, or Claire Redfield, a badass specially trained woman looking for her brother. No matter which you chose though, you were in for a good time. This game pioneered what I used to call the save one bullet method of gaming. There always seemed to be more enemies than there was ammo. You had to choose your fights and choose them carefully. That way you didn't end up cornered by zombies later on. The overall story was also extremely well written. We got to learn about the city, we learned about its downfall, and most importantly, we actually got to learn about where these zombies and monsters came from. It's so cool to play a game that gives us an enemy that's so diverse and yet so evil at the same time. The main antagonist is a man named William Birkin, a scientist at the lab who's now injected himself with tons of experimental viruses. Throughout the course of the game, we see him several times, and each time he's evolved a little bit more into the ultimate killing machine, slowly as he loses his mind. The graphics, the controls, even the music was just so ahead of its time. When you really get down to it though, the most important thing of all is this game is just so fun to play, and for that reason it wins my pick as the best 90s horror game.
Game over.
Did your favorite horror masterpiece not make the list? Got an idea for a future top 10? Leave it in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. And then seriously play Resident Evil 2. If you haven't played this, play this now. Play this on Halloween and play the hell out of it. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, maybe check out my last video. Please subscribe, and if you want, share this somewhere with your friends.